Welcome back to Jason's Pen Journey. Today we're going to do a quick review on a new pen that I acquired and just inked up for the first time. This is going to be a Franklin-Christoph Model 31. This one has got a cool story. I actually won it in a giveaway. It was one of the Atlanta Pen show exclusive pens from Franklin-Christoph from the 2026 Atlanta Pen Show, which I wasn't there, but Brad Dowdy from Pen Addict had actually been acquiring one for a giveaway to members of his community and his members. And I won the giveaway. So one of the first times I won anything. I never win those things. So thank you to Brad for running a giveaway and choosing my entry. So thank you to Brad for that. But let's check out the pen. This is one I'm probably gonna butcher a couple things as I go into the naming because it's some Japanese names that not really familiar with how to say them out loud. I've read them before, but first time saying them out loud. Let's take a look at the pen. Here we have the Franklin-Christoph Model 31 in Mokume-Gane. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right. It's a Japanese term. Mokumegane is how you spell it, which is a term I've seen before, but I never said it out loud. But this is my first Franklin-Christoph pen, so I'm really excited to spend some time with this one. It's a really interesting model. I've not seen this before. As I said, first time playing with Franklin-Christoph. It is a cartridge converter pen. The shape is basically a flat top. So you have a flat top, black finial. Nothing distinctive on the. Oh no, actually, the back. It does have the Franklin-Christoph logo on there. Didn't notice that before. So otherwise, a what I thought was a very understated plain black top does have the logo on it. And the bottom is tapered down to a flat top, but it's not purely flat because you have actually that small step down. There are 3 rings here on the middle of the barrel. And just the resin is just really, really cool. So I think they got the resin from Turnt Pen Company. Um, and it's just really cool. So the clip has those kind of 4 diamonds on it. Um, let's see if the clip doesn't have a lot of give. Can't really, yeah, there we go. Not a lot of give on the clip, but that's okay. Let's see. Turning to uncap it, we got 1 turn. There's 1.5. There's 2 turns. So a little more than 2, probably 2 1/4 turns. Um, let's take a look at it. So we've got a nice black section and one of their kind of black Raven nibs. It's a JoWo Number 6 nib with the Franklin-Christoph logo on it. Really nice looking pen. The resin is just absolutely stunning. It's got all these different colors in here. You've got black, you've got a kind of a salmon pink, you've got a almost a off-white greenish, grayish thing. So I actually had a lot of trouble figuring out what ink to put in it because I couldn't figure out what color it was the dominant color. Black would have been the easiest choice, but there's silver up here. There's sparkles in the resin. It's so cool. I'm really excited about using this pen and playing around with it and getting to know it and use it. So let's take a look at it compared to some other pens just to get you a size comparison. Okay, here it is with Lamy Safari, Sailor 1911 large, TWSBI Echo, and a Pilot Custom 823. So it's a little shorter than the 823. Get that straightened out for you. It's probably about the same length capped, a little bit longer than the Safari. and compare that with the TWSBI. Yeah, it's a little bit longer than the TWSBI, but not much when it's capped. So it's a little thicker than the TWSBI, um, and thicker than the cigar shape of the 823 as well. Let's take a look at them uncapped. And so uncapped, it's roughly the same size as the TWSBI Echo and Pilot Custom 823. It's longer than the Sailor and the Lamy, but a much larger section that you can see there compared to say the Pilot Custom 823. Um, if you take a look at it in my hand, I mean the grip is long. There is a bit of a lip here that when I'm holding it in my grip, it's right at my knuckle. Um, Not uncomfortable, but kind of wish that wasn't there. It is a little bit of a ridge. I'm sure it's there for good reasons from an engineering perspective, but it's a little inconvenient. Not no, not too bad. Um, but big, nice, long section, plenty of room to hold the pen. Okay, here it is with a writing sample. So, Franklin-Christoph Model 31. I used Taccia Cha Brown, which bring that in here. Um, New to me ink. First time using Taccia. I recently got a several of their inks to try out. This one, like I said, I had a real hard time figuring out what ink to put in this pen because none of the colors were something that jumped out at me as the obvious pairing. So I chose a brown. I thought that would be a good compromise. I didn't have anything else that I was thinking up to go with a brown. And it was kind of a gap in the colors that I was using. The nib itself is a fine JoWo number 6, usual paper. Pretty smooth as I went through, and no issues with any of the writing there. Give you a little bit more writing just to see it live. The pen does post, which is always a nice feature. It's a little heavier when it is posted. Obviously, well, it's obviously heavier when it's posted because it's got the cap on there. You could definitely write with it, or I can write with it, no problem. Uncapped, or sorry, unposted. Be hard to. You have to write with it uncapped, otherwise you can't write. There's a cap in the way. But it does hold feel fine in my hand. Unposted, posted, it is a little heavy, and the balance starts to get a little bit off. But we'll do that for the sake of trying it out. The nib is really nicely tuned here. My first time using this Taccia ink, but no issues with the ink and the nib and the feed. So little bit of not skipping, but not as smooth as I would have liked. But that may have just been how I was holding the nib or holding the pen. So really nice, smooth nib, especially for steel. Straight from the maker, um, and no issues there. So that is the Franklin-Christoph Model 31 in what did I call it? Mokume-Gane. Again, could be completely butchering that word, and I apologize to the Japanese audience and anybody else who actually knows what they're talking about with language. Um, Probably butchering it. So that is the pen, and that's the end of the video. So thank you again to Brad Dowdy from the Pen Addict for doing the giveaway. Really like this pen. Really appreciative of winning an entry. I mean, I know it's not something that Brad chose other than a random drawing, but I put in my entries, and so thank you, Brad, for the giveaway, and thank you, Brad, for everything you do for the pen community. The Pen Addict is one of the things that really got me started after I was first introduced to fountain pens and was able to really deep dive into both via your website, via the podcast, and really via the Slack community that you've got built up for your members. It's been invaluable to me. So thank you, Brad. I don't know that I said that enough, or I've said that before. So again, thank you. Um, if you have questions about the pen or the ink, or don't ask me about the Atlanta Pen Show. I wasn't there. But ask me about anything else that I showed you today. Drop them into the comments. Give the video a like. Give the channel a subscribe. And until I see you next time, keep on writing.